Hi, I'm Martin Warwick. We're at the Small Cells World Summit 2014 in Docklands in London, and I'm talking with Vedat Eyuboglu, who is the CTO of Airvana. So, what factors are driving mobile network demand for small cells?
Well, the primary factor is the rapid growth in smartphone adoption is driving greater and greater usage of data by subscribers. And the operators are feeling a need to offload their macro networks, and I believe that's what's going to be the primary driver for the adoption of small cells, especially with 4G LTE.
What do you think are the key challenges, the problems that are being faced by telcos as they begin to deploy and implement small cell solutions?
Well, there are various factors that an operator needs to consider in a small cell deployment. But probably one of the most important is the economics of the solution, especially the economics of the deployment of the solution. And we believe the solutions that are ultimately going to be successful are those that can leverage the standard IT infrastructure, such as Ethernet. And also we are seeing, in order to deliver the greatest user experience, it's important to avoid some of the challenges of more traditional small cell systems in the form of borders that generally occur between cells. And some of the newly emerging solutions are aimed at avoiding such borders and delivering a superior user experience.
Now, do you think small cell technology is actually capable of delivering telco requirements now, as of this moment, or does the technology need more development?
They are definitely there today, and there will be further improvements coming obviously along the way. But I would say absolutely they are ready for deployment in commercial networks and deliver the kind of quality and reliability that operators expect.
And how does small cells for 4G and beyond fit in with the move towards NFV, Network Functions Virtualization?
Well, in particular, there is a certain segment of the small cell space, and we've, in fact, our company announced a product based on these Cloudrun principles, where the majority of the small cell functionality is implemented in a more central baseband controller. And these types of architectures lend themselves to virtualization. Essentially, the majority of the small cell functionality can be implemented on off-the-shelf servers and virtualized. And the same server could be shared with other service-oriented applications. There could even be opportunities for multiple operators to share the same servers and run different instances of these baseband controllers on off-the-shelf hardware.
What role do you see for small cells beyond 4G and into future 5G networks?
There is some research work that is certainly started to develop the concepts around 5G. And we feel small cell networks or heterogeneous networks are going to play a key role in 5G. And many of the capabilities that will go into the 5G standards when they are developed will be to further enable small cell and heterogeneous network deployments.
Vedat, what do you think are the obstacles to small cell performance in enterprises and public spaces?
So, one of the major issues in small cells, since these cells are so densely deployed, there are borders between cells. If they are deployed in a traditional manner where each cell operates autonomously, without any coordination with other cells around. And those borders generally lead to degradation in users' experience. A user may be getting a good experience when they are close to an access point, but when they move away from the access point towards one of these borders, their data rate could drop as much as 90% in some instances. So at the same time, interference also from the macro network could be a problem as well. So the solutions, the proper solutions for small cells is is to adopt technologies and architectures that can deal with these issues, with these border problems, as well as the interference related to the macro network.
What do you think are the major factors driving the economics of enterprise small cell solutions?
So obviously there are two key contributors to the overall, at least the capital costs. One is the cost of the equipment, and the other is the cost of the initial deployment. We feel, with respect to the cost of the equipment, it's important, obviously, to make them as light as possible, as low cost as possible. But also we believe it's important to reduce the density of these radio points or access points that would be installed on the walls. That will directly improve the economics of the solution. And when it comes to the ease of deployment, it's very important to stay close to standard IT principles and IT equipment. And by that I mean Ethernet, using standard Ethernet switches, standard IT cabling, so that any IT professional can install these things. Small cells should not need, people who are specifically specialized to a particular product, to a particular transport network. Everybody knows Ethernet, and that's what we need to leverage. So between reducing the cost of the equipment, reducing the density of the access points that you need, and leveraging Ethernet, I think those are some of the key things that will deliver a low-cost, economic small cell solution.
We're hearing quite a lot about Cloudrun RAN architecture. What is it, and what's its significance to small cells?
Cloudrun is an architecture that has been around for some time. Basically, it's a split architecture. It takes the functionality of a base station and splits it between two nodes. It leaves the classic sort of radio or RF functionality in the nodes that get installed on the walls, but moves all the other functionality, including baseband modem, scheduling, and all the protocols, to a controller that would be centrally deployed. Now, in some Cloudrun implementations, the controller may reside in a data center out in the core network, and then there would be a need to have fiber links to connect that controller to the radio points. But in a small cell environment, that controller can actually reside at the site in a telecom room or an internet room at the site. And then, as we have shown with the product that we've announced just this morning, that you can connect the controller and the radio points using standard Ethernet. So we basically taken the Cloudrun concept and adopted it to a standard IT environment.
Vedat, thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.